Yo, 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 we're back, people. It's been too long since we've had a guest on the show, so we had to give Matt Kerr a call up. He's back to chat all things Man City with us. It's good to have you back, man. And I mean, I've not been consistent recently. We've had an international break. I felt like we was lost over that period. But City are back, and we've been back in good form again, man. How's everything been? What have you been feeling about what's been going on the last couple of weeks?
Oh yeah, all good. Yeah, thanks for having me on again, Jay.
No
Really
problem, man.
enjoyed our last time. No, that international break. Oh my god, what was it? 10 days or something, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, it
It
was
felt
rough,
like a
man.
month and a
Rough.
half. Yeah, genuinely, it felt like our season had a massive pause, not just like a international break. But yeah, no, we've come back and we looked pretty good. Kind of carried on where we left off. So no, I'm feeling good with City at the moment. Feeling good.
Yeah, I agree, man, and especially seeing John Stones start both of those games, man, over
Oh
that
yeah,
international break. It was sketchy times, and I think in the first game as well, he actually went down for about 5 minutes in the second half at one point. But yeah, we're back though. We're back, and we're still winning. I thought it might have like halted our momentum a little
mm,
bit, having the international break squeezed in there, but obviously we've come back with 2 wins. So we'll pretty much go straight into the Villarreal game midweek, mate, because I've not had a chance to
yeah.
really give people my thoughts on it yet, apart from the odd blurt on Twitter. But apart from that, we've not had a chance to talk about what are your feelings overall with the performance. I know I personally think that we're kind of a one half team at the moment, City, where it's either
Yeah,
we're great in the second half or we're great in the first half, and there's not really that point where we've got to a full class 90 minutes yet. What are your feelings behind the game, and what were your thoughts overall, man, with the result?
yeah, no, genuinely, completely similar to you. Like I was buzzing when obviously we got that result, but the almost inconsistency throughout the 90 minutes. It's like you say, it's either having one ace first half or an ace second half, and the other one it's just a bit of a slump. But don't get me wrong, we're getting the results. We're looking tight at the back as well. We've had a couple of clean sheets now since big GG came through the door. So
Yeah,
yeah, no, I don't mind it too much, but I do want to start seeing hopefully over the next month or two, maybe my little Christmas, put it on my Christmas list. I want to complete 90 minutes from City, just dominating. I know it's easier said than done. And don't get me wrong, we can win the league playing the way we are, but
hmm
I don't know, against tougher opposition, say it wasn't Villarreal, say it was Real Madrid,
yeah.
that second half that definitely would have come into it.
I agree with you, mate. I think I still think that I'm a point similar to probably the conversations that we had last time, where we'd come off. I think the last time we spoke, we'd come off the win against obviously United, who were in terrible form at that
Yeah,
time. We'd come off the win against Napoli, I think, who obviously went down to 10 men. And I was saying something similar then, that there seems to be like quite a lot of unanswered questions still. And I'm
yeah,
still kind of in that zone at the moment where obviously we're getting the results, but we've still not come up against that like kind of big caliber team yet. I know we had the Arsenal result, which was so close to being a perfect 1
I
nil like
know.
shithouse victory, which would have been amazing because we'd be top of the league now, and all these conversations about Arsenal would probably be a lot different as well. But again, since that result, we've been getting the wins.
Mm,
But again, like you say, the performances just haven't been that convincing throughout the whole entire game, which is slightly worrying. And I think this next run of fixtures now, starting with Aston Villa on Sunday, is really going to tell the true story, I feel. I mean, we've got
100%.
Villa and then Bournemouth, who are obviously in great form. I think we've got obviously a League Cup game wedged in there as well. And
Yeah,
then it's against Liverpool, man, who are nowhere.
yeah, that's
They've not been in the best of form recently, but it doesn't really matter. They could be bottom of the league against Manchester City, and they're going to turn up, aren't they? So
100%.
I,
100%. I
I
think
feel like this is going to test us the next couple of weeks.
definitely, definitely. I think on Liverpool though, I think the fact that Salah has had like a gold drought just screams that he's going to have an absolutely
Yeah.
unbelievable game against us. Like it's always the
Oh
case.
man.
Like he can go through really bad spells, come up against City, and he just turns his inside out in the
I
60 yard
know.
box. But I agree with you. I think that I've kind of bookmarked that even at the start of the season, looking at that the time of year, getting closer into Christmas time. Obviously coming towards the end of November, I think that Liverpool game is going to be the real indicator of who's the real challenger to
Yeah.
Arsenal. I hate to say it, but Arsenal, let's be frank, they
Yeah,
are the
it's
favourites right
frustrating,
now.
man. Yeah, it is. The train just doesn't seem to stop us. As much as I keep saying, I still feel like they're a bit toothless up front. when it comes to scoring from open play. But I'm still quite hopeful though, man, because at the start of the year we were saying this Liverpool run has got to end soon because the performances aren't great, right? And we ended up being proven right because as soon as the last minute goals dry up, they're absolutely washed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They lost 4 games in a row, and I still feel like Arsenal could get to that point where if a set piece doesn't end up like coming off, or like it seems to be the same story every week with them as well, doesn't it? Like
crazy.
they only tend to get off the mark off a corner or off a free kick. So I am relatively hopeful still that they've not really got a plan B as of yet. I've not seen it as of yet. If it doesn't work out, I know it was a great result against Atletico Madrid in midweek.
Yeah, that was impressive, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like 0.4 pass against that team.
I agree, because I thought it stunk of a 0-0, to be fair. And it was 0-0 at half-time, though, wasn't it? Up until about like the 55th minute or something like that. I think they got the first goal. But again, there was people were talking about like the Rice set pieces and stuff, even in that game, weren't they? So I still think they're a bit of a one-trick pony.
And as well, we've got to talk about the obvious, the elephant in the room. They've not won anything still, so it's like can they get over the line? You know, even if they are 8 points ahead, 10 points ahead in March, I still fancy us.
Exactly.
As long as we're within touching distance, breathing down their neck, I still expect them to collapse and us to take over them, you know?
That's the key, man. I think even when it was Liverpool still in the mix, where we all thought that they'd kind of run away with it, I think our aim overall was always to just stay in touch with them both. Obviously, we've leapfrogged them now, but if we put ourselves in a position come February, March, where we are in touching distance, we know that Arsenal have got it in them to fuck it up. They're just built like that. They are bottle jobs. So until I see them get over the line, even in a FA Cup, do you know, like anything,
League Cup, like anything,
exactly.
I do think as soon as they get that first trophy, I do think as soon as they get that first trophy, I do think, I think then they'll be in motion then. But I still think though this year, if Arteta doesn't get at least a League Cup or an FA Cup,
I agree, mate.
I just don't know how they can keep going. Okay, we'll spend another 300 million this summer, and this is our year. It's like, come on, guys, you've got to draw a line under it at some point, you know. And I think they do after this year.
He's probably got to go at the end of the year if they go trophyless again.
You know what?
I think he's lucky to be here anyway. The fact that he's still trophyless after all this time, and it's always the nearly men. And if you're not going to win a Premier League though and come up short like 3 times in a row, you have to try and at least win a cup. Because if Palace can do it and Newcastle can do it, then do you know what I mean?
Well, exactly. They've got to look at them. You know, they can't be looking at and going, oh well, City and Liverpool can't compete with. No, come on, you got Newcastle and Palace who are doing better than you lads. Let's be frank. And as well, I think that you could argue their worst season was last season in a way because of how bad we were.
Yeah, of course.
They were chasing us. Finally, we drop our standards, and then they don't capitalise on it. I think that says a lot.
And I think this year has proven that Liverpool actually weren't that great either. I just think the challenge wasn't.
We were all saying it though.
The rest of us,
we were all saying it.
Yeah.
We were all saying it. They didn't look that convincing last season. They were just, in a way, actually, kind of playing how we are at the moment, just getting the job done. They had like what Haaland's been for us. They just had Salah, who was guaranteed going to get 1 or 2 every game, and they were pretty solid at the back, so no one was really going to touch him. But they didn't blow anyone out the water, did they?
I kind of like how we've kind of gone back to that mentality though, because last year I still think that we were so much in attack mode still from going 4 in a row and winning all these trophies that I don't think Pep obviously wanted to change or just even tinker with his style of play, but you can already see the changes this year. And even in the Villarreal game the other day, it just being in that position, when we talk about a game of one half with Manchester City, I'd much prefer us to do it that way around, by the way. I'd much prefer us to go in and get 2-0 up at half time and then kind of sit on that lead, defend. But it's good to see that Pep's willing to do that. We saw it in the Arsenal game as well when we tried to obviously shithouse our way to a victory in the end. But it was the inability to just like tinker with things, change things mid-game, still sticking to the high line and us getting hit on counter-attacks and us giving away 2-goal leads. I didn't feel in that game at any point against Villarreal midweek that we were ever in a position where we could end up drawing or losing that game.
No,
And we couldn't have said that last year. So big up to Pep, man, for changing it. And I don't know whether the new boys in the backroom staff have had a thing to do with it as well. Obviously, Pep Linders have come in. But yeah, I think the whole defence in general has been good the last few weeks. So let's touch on the boys at the back there, because obviously Donnarumma's come in. I don't think words need to be said about that guy. Obviously he's changed
he's just
a lot
different
with us.
Gravy, isn't he?
He's just one of those keepers that could obviously not do anything for 70 minutes, and then they'll have half a chance. Like, I think Njai had one in the Everton game, and then there was another one in Villarreal the other day as well. And he just pulls off a save when you need it to, and that's not always been the case with our goalkeepers, is it? It was always a thing where first shot on target and would be 1-0 down. Do you know what I mean?
It really would be.
Yeah, exactly.
It really would
so
be.
What are your thoughts on kind of the differences that we've switched it up this year? I feel like obviously we're sitting a lot deeper as well when we go up in leads. What are your thoughts on the back four in general over the last week or so?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying the way we're defending at the moment. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, even when the results were starting to get a bit better, you know, I'm thinking post Manchester, probably around the time that we last spoke, actually.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't probably as convincing. I was on Ruben Diaz's back quite a bit. I thought he'd really dropped his standards, especially last season, but I think he'd carried it over a little bit this season. But I think he's turned a corner. I think Gvardiol obviously is developing into a wonderful centre. We know he's a great defender, but we've only really seen him left back the most. Seen him centre half, he's just been an absolute Rolls Royce. And I've got to give him his plaudits. Matheus Nunes.
This is where I was going to go. Yeah,
he is. Oh my word! Especially against Villarreal, I was watching him. Even in the second half, like, we weren't particularly impressive. He was just mopping everything up, and when he had the ball, so calm. Don't get me wrong, like I mentioned before, he's not up against a top team. I understand that, but you know, if he can do that job for 2/3 of the season, and then maybe Kusanov comes in, and you could argue the bigger games, mate, we're absolutely laughing.
That's exactly it, mate.
I did a video the other day on my TikTok, basically saying that, you know, a lot of people at the start of the season were like, we've got to get Livramento, we've got to get someone who's proven at right back, because then we've got a full team, everyone perfect essentially on paper, right? Like, almost like it's FIFA, like everyone's in their right position, everyone's made.
Yeah.
But if you look at some of our best years, you know, 100-point season, we had Fabian Delph at left back, we made it work. A couple of seasons after that, we had Zinchenko at left back, who everyone forgets was an attacking midfielder when he came to City, made it work. And I think Matheus Nunes, mate, I think he's better than the other two that I've just mentioned. I agree. Physically, he's fast. And like I say, I think just his calmness on the ball is something that's really improved, because he used to be a proper hothead. You know, as we know, just doesn't trust
too reactionary sometimes, wasn't he? Even if he made a little mistake, like, remember in the derby last year when he gave away the penalty, like, he'd give it away and then his first instinct was to just fly in, do you know, and rush in and give the penalty away.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm still concerned, because there was even the handball against Brighton.
Yeah, the Brighton game. Yeah, I was all over him again then, and like I say, Martin's just said it then in the chat. I was saying in the LB chat the other day, it is like a toxic relationship with Nunes, because I love him for 90% of the time, and then he'll just do something to hurt my heart, man. Like, every so often, yeah. But on the whole, like, when it's good, it's very good. And I've actually been on, I can't wait to pull up my bookmarks at the end of this season, because I said on Twitter all along that this guy will cook this year, all right? I don't want to go too early on it yet, because he has still had a little bit of a brain fart. But I was more than happy for him and Kusanov to share that load. Obviously, if you bring Nunes in against like the bottom kind of 15 teams, with his attacking threat as well, I think he could be a really, really big player for us. And we even saw him as part of a back three the other day, with Stones going into midfield, because what he has got is he's got that recovery pace as well, next to Diaz and Guardiola, which we do miss when Kusanov's not in the team. So I think he's going to be a huge player for us, and as long as he can just not let me down, and just don't do anything stupid, please, for the next few weeks.
It's the complicated things he's really good at. That's the thing as well. That's the frustrating thing. Like, the complicated things, he's like, don't get me wrong, he's not amazing, but he's like 6 or 7 out of 10. But it's like you say, it's the just keeping you cool and not just diving in or just sticking your arm out. It's just keeping a lid on them moments, isn't it?
I know,
But
man.
we love him.
But yeah,
We love him.
we do, and hopefully he can continue the good form. We'll speak a little bit later about what team we were expecting to be put out tomorrow. We'll pull up a little lineup filler because that back four is kind of. There's a couple of players that have obviously come back. There's a couple of players who are obviously in great form, like Nico O'Reilly's, who we didn't see in midweek.
Yeah.
So it's probably a little bit of a tough task for Pep to put a back four together at the moment. So we'll see what we prefer going into that Villa game tomorrow. But before that, let's just touch on a couple of other players from the Villarreal game, especially. I think it's only fair that we talk about Savio. I know this year he's had a lot of criticism. Me personally, when I was at the Everton game the other week, I think I heard a lot of criticism from the fans around me. There's a lot of discourse in the fan base at the moment around Savio. I don't think it helps the fact that we did turn down a bid in the summer, because I think I don't think this pressure would be on him as much if we didn't turn down that £70 million bid.
I agree.
So I think it is a little bit unfair on him with the criticism that he's been getting. Like, he was late back into the team because of an injury, and I know he's not been amazing. He obviously wasn't great against Everton, but for sure turned up when he needed to, when he got another opportunity midweek. What did you think about his performance on the whole, mate?
Yeah, no, I mean, the last few games when I've seen Savio start, I've just been, I'm backing it. I want City players to do well. Whether I particularly rate them as highly as other people or not. Like Savio, it's still out. The discourse is still out for me. But I saw the Villarreal team. And I'm like, okay, this, come on. Step up. Step up now.
Especially with that midfield. When you saw the team initially, I'll be honest, man, when I saw the team initially, I don't know about you, but I was worried because I was wondering where the attacking threat is going to come from with Rico, Bernardo and Nico G in that midfield. Because we were only pretty much relying then on Savio and Doku on paper, like when you first look at it.
Paper,
obviously, Rico did a lot more in the game than we expected him to, had a great game. So it was a little bit worrying going in. Did you have that kind of similar feeling?
Oh, 100%, 100%. It was there was a few memories from last season seeing like Bernardo and Rico in midfield, but I do think it's a positive sign that because obviously Pep wasn't changing it for so long, was he? We were going week after week, game by game, and it was pretty much the same team, one or two tweaks, but the fact that he felt. Don't get me wrong, I didn't feel this at the time, but looking at it, he was like, well, I'm confident with the players across the board now to
and he backed Savio still,
but on Savio, I was watching the game and I thought I don't know what you thought. I thought he actually had a really slow start to the game.
I agree, mate. Yeah, I was in that position again where I was like, oh, come on, man, what are you doing?
Same. Yeah. I think there was a few misplaced passes or like a few times where it was like, go on, there's the space, and he did that thing that we've seen so many times.
Sometimes, didn't he?
Wait, turns, passes it back, and it's like, man, what's he gonna do? Me and my dad, we were like pulling our hair out. We were going, what? Come on! And then out of nowhere, he pulls that beautiful pass to Rico. Pulls that across, and for me, that's as good as an assist. That pass,
it is. An assist, people I forget about the pre-assist a lot because it doesn't go down as a stat. But even Foden in the Everton game, I thought he didn't come away with any assists or goals, but his passes to set up the crosses that were unbelievable, weren't they? So same with Savio, man. You've got to give him his props for the pass to Rico to put the cross in. I agree. And that actually came from a passage of play where he was doing a similar thing. And I actually loved this because I've gone back and watched it. It was a passage of play between him and Stones mainly, where they kept going back inside, to kind of just keep dragging the defenders and the second defender away from Savio. And they did it about 4 or 5 times. And they were just waiting for that perfect moment where I think it ended up going to Nunes, who then drilled a pass into Savio. And because the defenders had shifted off 5 yards away from him, it just created that space then for him to drive forward a little bit and then make the pass to Rico. And it's those little intricacies that you don't always notice, do they? And it probably comes from Pep's style of play that he tells them to do it. It's kind of, you got to try and drag the back four this way and that way to kind of create the space for him. So I think it was a great passage of play leading to that first goal.
But alluding to what you said earlier, obviously I go to the games as well, and around me there's a lot of groans when Savio doesn't take a man on, or he misplaces a pass or something. And I think, don't get me wrong, it's partly because of what happened in the summer, but I really do think Savio needs a big game. at the Etihad. Like I think his
I
two
agree,
good games this season. Obviously Huddersfield, he got that goal. At
away,
Villarreal, I think that's probably fair to say that they're his two games that have stood out. I think he needs a big game at the Etihad to not. I'm not saying get the fans back on side, but there's definitely some part of the fan base that are like, well, you wanted to leave us in the summer and you're not performing, so jumping to that conclusion of, do you know what I mean? So I think he needs a big game, maybe a goal at the Etihad, and I think then everyone's back on side. But yeah, I'm backing him to. Hopefully, that's the start of his season now, and
I'm backing him too. Yeah. I think he's got all the talent in the world. Similar to Doku, whatever people. I know he's not been great the last few games, but if you put the right pieces around him, and obviously give him the opportunity to get into more space by having a defender running around him and having a Reinders or a Rico, like Rico was doing it for Savio over and over again in midweek, where he just makes that little run inside him and it drags a man away, it just occupies another body, and it just gives Savio that little bit more space then to square up his defender one-on-one or try and find a pass. So I think if you put the right players around them, I think they can both be unbelievable for us this year. But we just need that bit of consistency now, because now I feel like Savio's had a little bit of an upswing in form. It seems like Doku's like having a little bit of a downswing now. So I just wanted to get to a point where both of them are playing well at the same time, because it feels like they never are on the same wavelength.
I know. I feel for me as well, like obviously like you say, Doku has like had a little dip. I just hope it's not like a slump that we've seen. Do you know what I mean? Like over the years, since he's been at City, he'll have a couple good games, get a couple goals and assists or whatever, and then he'll go quiet for a few months. I hope that it's just these couple of games, and then we're going to see him. I think having a Nico O'Reilly though behind him or overlapping really helps. I know Gvardiol can do that, but he's obviously a different type of player. He doesn't support it as much as a winger, and I think
especially if you've got like a Stones dropping into midfield, you can't really send your whole back four forward. Yeah.
No, but I kind of, to get the best out of Doku and Savio, at least I think the best real thing is probably to have O'Reilly at left back, who for me has been one of our standouts this season. I think he's been absolutely fantastic.
I think he's been fantastic as well, and that's what's probably going to move us nicely into a little preview, because I know you've got to get off soon. So we'll go into our preview for the Villa game on Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll talk about kind of what team we expect to be put out, what team we'd go for. Like you say, your players like Nico O'Reilly, who weren't involved midweek, have been in fantastic form this season. So you'd probably expect him to come straight back in. So do you know what? I'm moving up in the world now as a streamer, people. You all know I've upgraded to a laptop from an iPad, and I've learned how to share screen. Yeah, big up. So let's see if we can do it, right? And we'll get this team sorted.
Drum roll, chat. Drum roll.
Drum roll. I'll probably bozo it up now. Wait. Here we go. Is it on? Yes! Look at that. Hey. Come on, boys. Respect where it's due. I'm learning on the job here. So yeah, we'll just go quickly through the team. Obviously, I don't think this needs to be spoke about. I already had him ready there. Donnarumma in goal. Now we're going to go straight into the back four, Matt, because this is probably the hardest kind of positions to pick at the moment, because I feel like we've got a lot of players in form. Back four is kind of something that you want to keep as consistent as possible, isn't it? Kind of in a run of games like we're on at the moment. So what are your thoughts? What are we thinking going into the game tomorrow? Do we expect to see Nunes back at right back? Are we going to see a John Stones coming back in? What we'll start with right back. What do we reckon?
I think based off what we were saying before, it's got to be our man. It's got to be Nunes.
Yeah.
I think he's just been. I mean, don't be wrong. If Kusanov, it's looking like Kusanov's not going to be fit for this one. If Kusanov was, then maybe it'd be a good game to. I don't know actually, because I think Villa's a tough game, and I think we're going to need his recovery pace, like we've said about Nunes, and he's in good form. So why drop a player that's in good form?
I agree with you, mate. I completely agree with you. And like I say, we do need that recovery pace. And a lot of our worries came around the back four when Kusanov did go out injured. Were we capable of keeping a clean sheet without him? We've proved that we have, but I think he is key to being able to stop that counter attack. So I think he's a shoe-in for the team. I agree with you, pal. Now, a little bit of a sticky one, because we did see Stones and Diaz midweek, which saw Guardiola moving out to left back. Does Stones retain his position? Do we see a similar idea from Pep where we see him dropping into midfield? What are we thinking about the two centre backs, mate, for tomorrow?
See, for me, my gut feeling is Stones doesn't start, mainly because obviously his fitness. I don't think he can play, back to back games. However, that said, if Nico G isn't going to be in the team, if his knock is enough to keep him out of the game, then maybe we see Stones so he can like step in with whoever's in midfield. But I'm probably going to say no. It's just a gut feeling. I think it'll be like a Diaz-Gvardiol partnership. I don't know what you think, but
I'd probably agree, mate. I'd probably agree. I think that's what Pep will go for as well. Especially because I think with O'Reilly missing out in midweek, it's kind of looking like he's probably going to come back into the team. Do you reckon?
Definitely. I think he's so important. I think one thing that's gone under the radar with O'Reilly, I think when he had his go in the first team last season, obviously his quality going forward was obvious. It was clear. I remember there was an assist at Bournemouth, I think it was, which was just an elegant cross.
Yeah.
But I think his defensive work and his physicality is really, really going under the radar. Like I think after like Haaland and Donnarumma, he's like one of the biggest in the team. Like he's absolutely massive.
Yeah,
and he
is.
Can get up and down. He can get up and down as well.
He uses that body really well as well, doesn't he, to kind of protect the ball. The way I remember making this comment, and I don't think he's like a player like him at all, but the way he uses his body to kind of manipulate himself around the defenders is very David Silva-esque. He's always got his body in between the kind of opposition player and the ball, and he protects it so well. And he very rarely loses possession because of that skill that he's got. And like you say, I think whoever plays here massively benefits from having this guy at left back as well, regardless of who it is. We'll get onto that in a second, but I think he can only help the guy who plays at left mid. Everyone's saying my mic sounds underwater. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, I think you sound fine. Yeah.
Oh, do I? Maybe it's just.
Yeah. Is it connected? You sound different to usual.
Do you know what? It's because I never usually use a mic, mate. And I'm using a mic today, and it's probably made it go worse. I just tried unplugging it a minute ago, but I didn't want to mess it up, so we'll stick with it for now. I'll see. I know I'll switch it up for next time if it's still a bit.
Yeah, it sounds good for me, man. Sounds good.
Sounds underwater here. Oh no! I knew it was too good to be true to go a full stream without any technical difficulties. Right.
Hey, but we've got the screen sharing, so it's all good.
Yeah, we've got the screen sharing. You can't have it all. I'll get a new mic for next time, boys. Just bear with me for now, yeah. Give me a break. Right, midfield three, Matt. Who are we going with? Obviously, Nico G did have a limp off. I don't think we have any concrete news as of yet. I don't know whether you've heard anything different.
No, it's just been what Pep said. I think they were going to check today, basically. Yeah. So I think we're not going to know till the game. My gut feeling,
that, isn't it? Yeah. I'd expect him to be no if it's not finding out till today. What do you reckon?
I think my gut feeling is probably he's on the bench. Like he's fit enough to be on the bench, but not fit enough to start. And I'll be honest, a player who's going to come in probably in his place was someone that I've been impressed with since he returned, Kovacic.
Yeah,
I know for a lot of people that's going to be having flashes from last season, but I do think he's a neat footballer, very different to Nico. But I think now that we're a bit more of a functioning side, I think he can definitely play that role.
And would that be more here? Do you reckon it kind of in that 6 role? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe or with the guy next to him, who we're probably going to get onto.
Let's
maybe
go straight into double pivot. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking Reinders. I think he's been fabulous since he joined City. I was surprised he didn't start in the week. I know you can't play every single game, but
yeah.
I said on the City Ramble podcast this week, actually, like it's that old thing on FIFA. You know, when the commentator goes, "It's everything right apart from the finish." That's exactly how I feel about Reinders at the moment.
That's exactly how I feel as well. Yeah.
Apart from just whacking it in the corner. And go on, you know who the next guy is. Come on. We know it's our boy. We know it's Phil Foden.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Yeah,
it's got to be.
I completely agree with this team. By the way, my only issue is I think Pep sometimes a little bit conservative when we're away from home. So it wouldn't surprise me if we do see a Bernardo here.
Yeah,
and then a Reinders here, and then he might end up going Foden off the right potentially. But then obviously you're talking about your wingers that you want to come in as well. But I completely agree with this team. This is what I'd go for. I think Aston Villa's defence has been their massive weak point recently. So I think we should play to our strengths really and just try and get at them. So I completely agree with you. But would you be surprised if you see a Bernardo or someone drop into the midfield instead?
Not at all. And I'll be frank, obviously Bernardo, a lot of people will roll their eyes at the idea of Bernardo being in midfield for City. I think his cameo against Everton and game midweek, I thought he was brilliant. I thought not only was his usual like workhorse self, like running himself ragged, he was actually really creative and genuinely.
He was getting into the box as well. Obviously scored a goal. Yeah,
exactly. So I mean, we're probably getting onto the front three now. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you see a Bernardo out on the right, just to make it a little bit more.
Yeah.
In defence, just pack out the midfield a little bit more. I don't know what you think.
Okay, first, so we'll get onto this now then, because I think this is another sticky one. Because I've got 3 players probably that you could expect to see here. I know the majority of the fans at the moment are all screaming out for Ryan Cherky to come into this team. I don't know whether this is the game to do it. Especially if you run 2 semi-attacking midfielders in the midfield 3. I think it's a little bit of a risk to play Cherky there. But what do you reckon? Do you reckon he's got a shot?
I tell you what, you've got me excited now. I'd absolutely love to see Cherky play. But I agree. I think it might be one game too soon. Maybe I think maybe we'll see him start at Swansea we've got in the week in the League Cup. Maybe we see Cherky start that one. I think I just can see him as soon as you said in these bigger games when we're away from home. Sometimes like Pep makes it a little bit more compact in the midfield, and for that reason I can see it being a Bernardo. Don't get me wrong, maybe not Bernardo necessarily out on the right, but in the team and Savio's had a lot of minutes recently, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he.
So we'll probably see Bernardo in the team. It could be this instead.
Yeah,
but it also could be this. Especially if we've got Nunes in the team, we could see kind of it looking a bit like this. Or what have I done? Where you see him
forward, and
then Foden kind of drifting in the middle, and then you pack the midfield out a bit. But I don't think you really want to be moving Foden away from that central role, because I think he has been great there recently.
That's him at his best, isn't it? In the midfield, we've seen that, haven't we? Like you say, that pass against Everton, like oh my god, like only he can do that in our team for me. So
for sure, man. And then in the middle,
big
man. No questions asked. Best striker in the world, non-stop scoring recently.
Best player in the league for me.
Best player in the league for sure this year, mate. For sure. Arguably a Ballon d'Or contender already this season if he keeps up the form that he's on. I don't think we really need to speak much more about him because he's an absolute shoe-in for that position. And then finally, again, Matt, we've got a couple of players that have coming back from injury that are in with a start. Maybe we could see Cherky from the left. I know that's probably not his position. Marmoush is obviously back as well. Do we stick with Doku? Does Pep even try and play Savio from the left after his good form in midweek? What are we saying for this final position?
Yeah, I've got to say actually that once again the Everton game, I thought Savio had a difficult game, but as soon as he got shifted out to the left, I think it was during the end of the game, obviously he picked up that assist. He looked so much more comfortable. But I'm probably not going to say Savio. I'm actually going to go Marmoush. I think this is a game where he can bring him back in. And obviously Doku's had a quiet last 2 games. And I think it's just a perfect opportunity for Marmoush to come in. Obviously, you've got Bernardo a bit more reserved on the right-hand side. I think with O'Reilly pushing up as well, you can allow Marmoush to drift a bit more central. So yeah, I think Marmoush. I don't know what you think about that. Whether you think
sounds good to me, mate. I think it's about time we've got at least one of the returning players back into the team just to create that little bit of spark, a bit of excitement. So I personally would want to see either a Marmoush, a Cherky. I'd throw Aït-Nouri in there as well, but I don't really want to drop O'Reilly. So I definitely want to see a Marmoush or a Cherky in this game, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm more than happy to go with Marmoush and give him a shot for this one. Like you say, if we give Doku a little bit of a rest, he's played a lot of football this season. Again, I think the person who would be the most annoyed about kind of being left out after being good, having a bit of good form is Savio. Like he's finally had one good game. Do you kind of want to run with the momentum and try and keep him up in good form? But I would not. this would probably be the team that I'd go for as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this is switched around and we see Silva and Kovacic in a double pivot and Reinders in the 10 and Foden drifting in from the right. But I have no problems with the 11 players on the pitch whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying about Savio, because I was literally saying before how I've been wanting to see him have a really good game, and then he did have one against Villarreal. So it does feel a bit harsh to bring him out of the team. But there's so many games coming thick and fast. Like, we're playing two times a week, sometimes 3. So, you know, it's not like when we're saying a player's getting dropped, it's not. It's they're just basically going to start the next one. It's almost like, isn't it really? But yeah, big up Savio. I think he's like we said, starting his season now. He's gonna,
and hopefully he'll come off the bench and be able to make an impact as well.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, and listen, we're not even mentioning Oscar Bob, who.
Yeah, true. Yeah, not even had a sniff of a shout at right wing then. But this is the position we're in at the moment. The fact that Pep's got all of these options, and we've finally got a good bench where you can make big changes mid-game as well, which we didn't at the start of this year. So it's a good position to be in, man.
No, it's fantastic. I mean, it's so good to see that we've got threat off the bench like Cherky, Marmoush, Bob, etc. Like, you know, at the start of the season, I was looking at it and I was thinking, other than Rico Lewis, who have we got to bring on here? And even, no offense to Rico Lewis, he's not going to make the goal scoring impact that you need sometimes. You know what I mean? So no, it's meant to see, and we've had our best success when we've had quality benches and amazing depth. So hopefully it's a good sign for good things to come.
Big up, man. Right, I've already kept you on for too long, so very quickly before you go, because I know we've run over a little bit. I try not to waffle as much as I can. Let's just get a final prediction from you, Matt, for the game tomorrow. What score do you think it'll be? Maybe a cheeky goal scorer thrown in there as well. What we reckon?
Yeah, so I think not just Aston Villa, but I think Villa Park, it always feels like it's going to be a tough game, and I always feel like they've got a goal in them. So I do think they'll score. Maybe first, but I think we'll win 2-1. I think it'll be tight, but I think we'll win. I think it might even be one of them that they get the first one, we get 2, and then by the end of the game, you're like, City should have won that 5-1. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah.
Like a 2-1 battering, really.
I agree. They always give us a good game, especially away from home. So I agree. I can see them nicking one. They're in good form at the moment. I know they didn't win midweek in the European game, but before that they were on. I think they'd won 5 in a row. And they always seem to turn. Well, they turned up against us last year. John McGinn always looks like prime Zidane against Man City. So.
Morgan Rogers as well. He's got a point to prove every time he plays City, hasn't he? In a way. Yeah. So, but I think Haaland obviously on the score sheet again, and I'd love to see Marmoush get on the score sheet if he starts. I'd absolutely love to see that, because I absolutely love him to bits. And when he got injured for Egypt, you know, not the last international break, the one after, I was gutted, because even though we'd lost to Brighton and we'd lost to Tottenham, I thought he was looking really, really sharp at that point. So hopefully, you know, like I say about Savio, hopefully he can kickstart his season with a goal.
Love it. Right, big up, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Big up to Matt Kerr, everyone. I've put all his handles in the description, so go give him a follow on Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube. Hit him up, man. He knows his stuff. The guy's practically famous nowadays. He's on Sky Sports and that all the time. But yeah, big up for coming on, man. I really appreciate it, and we'll catch up soon, man. Sorry for keeping you on a bit longer.
No, don't worry. It's a pleasure as always. Absolutely loved it, and we'll catch up soon. Hopefully after
big up, man.
A thumping of Aston Villa.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and fix this mic for the rest of the chat when you dip off now. So yeah, appreciate it, man, and I'll catch you soon.
Nice one, mate. Take it easy.
See you later. See you later, guys. Bye. Right, big up, Matt. What a guy, man. Right, I'm going to try and fix this. I need you all to bear with me, yeah? Tell me if this works now. If I sound like I'm underwater, if I unplug...
Can you hear me? Is that better? Tell me if that's better. Do I sound like I'm underwater still, people? Just tell me, is the mic better? Xbox Live mic. Yeah, man, it's a dead mic. I need a new one. I'm setting up the system bit by bit. I've got a double screen. I've got a laptop now, but I obviously just need a better mic, innit? It's better though. See, I knew I should have just gone a cappella, man. I hope it wasn't too bad during the stream with Matt. But yeah, we'll go a cappella again next time. Right, there you go. You've got our predictions for the game tomorrow. You've got our predicted lineup. I want to hear what yours is. So everyone in the chat now, Matt's gone for 2-1 City. I think Aston Villa's defence is poor, you know. I think they will score, but I'm going to go for a 3-1 City. I think we'll win 3-1. I think, Villa's defence has been crap this year. So I think we'll put 3 past them. And hopefully early doors as well. I don't want to be going into the second half. Big up. This is what I mean, man. I've only been active for about a month, so I'm learning on the job, innit? It's hard to learn when you're live as well. You gotta just like roll with the punches, aren't you? 2-1 City, Bernardo. What are we all saying? A lot of two. I feel like we're going to have a lot of people predicting at least a goal from Villa. Do you know what I'm saying? I will be watching the United game. Hate along. (2-1) as well. I think a lot of people will go 2-1. I think a lot of people are going to agree that we probably concede. But yeah, I reckon 3-1. I reckon the defense is crap, man. The defense is crap. We should be capable of putting more than 2 past them. But don't be surprised, if Villa drop the performance of the century after losing to go-ahead Eagles midweek in the Europa League. 6-1 Haaland double hat-trick. Mate, bring it on. If that happens, captain in FPL and everything. 3-0 City. I rate it. Another clean sheet would be nice. Prove that we can keep a clean sheet against a good side away from home as well. I'd love to see it. I'm really unsure about what that 4 is going to be out, you know. Because does he drop Stones? He played pretty well midweek. 1-0 Donner masterclass. A couple of clean sheet predictions here from the people. I rate the confidence. You're back in the back 4. What other games have we got today? Are United on at 3:00? Let me have a quick check. Yeah, no, 5:30. So Chelsea, Sunderland, and Newcastle. There's some dead games today, boys. Some dead games. United, Brighton, 5:30. Brentford, Liverpool, 8:00. The UFC's on early tonight though as well, so I'll probably have to double screen that United Brighton game with the UFC in it. But I will be hating along. Don't worry. Right, we'll pretty much wrap it up there. I think we've got our predictions. We obviously had Matt on. We'll do a hate watch of United later. I agree, pal. I do think we'll concede, but it will be huge if we do keep a clean sheet. I agree. This is wild, by the way. This is wild. The fact that they've looked so shit all year, losing to Grimsby and getting panned by us, but they've got to win against Chelsea. They've got to win against Liverpool now. It's looking up for Hugo Amorim. Come on, Tom. Yeah, we've got to support the boy. Local lad fighting for the heavyweight title tonight in the main event against Cyril Gahn. I've done a predictions and breakdown show that I posted last night. If you've not already watched it, go give it a watch. I've picked all my winners from the fight card. I was debating doing a live watch along for the main card of the UFC. I'm trying to gain some interest, see if people would be interested in it. I'll probably jump on like 5 p.m. to do a watch along, but I'm not 100% yet. I'm going to put it on Twitter, see what people think, see if people would be interested. If you would be, obviously drop a comment as well. The more people that say they'd watch, the more inclined I'd be to actually doing it. So we'll see. I'm still 50-50 on it. But big up everyone for coming in. If you've not already liked the stream, please like it. Please obviously support the channel by commenting, hyping, liking. You know the dance. And City, let's go out and smash Villa tomorrow away from home and make a statement, yeah? We need to really start putting it on Arsenal's toes. We need to start pulling ourselves away from Liverpool, showing that there's levels to this game. It's not that easy to go back-to-back Premier League titles, yeah? We did it 4 in a row, mate. So let's go and put it on them, show who we are, show what we're made of, and show that we're just better than these washed clubs. Yeah? Do it for the fans. Do it for the travelling fans. Do it for your mama. Do it for whoever, man. But go and get the win. Yeah? Aggressive from the get-go. We want to see it. Right, big up everyone. Like I said, I'll jump on with a match reaction tomorrow. Just give my thoughts about the Villa game. Like I said, I might go live for the UFC later. But until then, I'll catch you on the flip side. We've brought a bit of consistency back. 3 videos this week with a UFC prediction show. We're back, baby. Yeah? I've got more consistency than our wingers nowadays. So, yeah. See you all later. Have a great weekend. If I don't catch you before Monday, see you in a bit.